Hey guys, Brig here. Today I've got an interesting video for you. It's not going to be much to see. It's going to be more of a story, discussion sort of thing. And yeah, especially if you don't like spiders, I would not watch this video. Let's think of it more like a podcast. But basically, I'm going to be telling you how I made 2 million gold in 2 days at the start of the expansion. Now, you probably won't learn much from this video that you didn't already know, and the techniques I used certainly would not work nowadays, or if they do, you certainly wouldn't make anything like the profits that I made, because as we all know, at the start of an expansion, everything is much more expensive, and the profit margins are huge. Now, the interesting thing is, I didn't actually level up until 5 or 6 days after the expansion first launched, so I kind of missed out on quite a big profit, especially, you know, if you got level 110 after the first day or maybe first 2 days of the expansion launching, you could be raking in triple or quadruple the amount of profits that I was making, just because prices are always crazy. But I was on holiday at the time, excited, chilling, just really wanted to get back and play. Finally did, and yeah, quickly leveled up and got into the whole gold making thing. As soon as I hit level 110, I got the quest that lets you go and get your Obliterum Forge. Now this required 4 lots of braces, as many of you will know, and those braces were ridiculously expensive. But I thought this Obliterum Forge looks pretty cool, so I'll take the risk, I'll invest all my gold. Well, it wasn't all my gold, but it was a lot of gold. It was like 50 or 60,000 gold I paid for those 4 braces. And yeah, went on from there, unlocked my Obliterum Forge, and then it was game on. My professions at the time were engineering and I think herbalism. I don't know, I had some weird professions on my druid, but I saw a really good opportunity because as I was doing the bracer quest, the Demon Steel Arm Guards, which are the plate bracers, were selling ridiculously. They were like 30,000 gold just for 1 lot of bracers. And I saw that there'd be huge profit potential in this, so I abandoned engineering, leveled up blacksmithing to 800, did all the quests, and I was ready to go. Again, that cost me quite a bit of gold, but the profits I was about to make are definitely worth it. So I had the rank 2 Demon Steel Arm Guards. I've still got it, here it is. I could buy rank 3 now, but I just haven't really been on this character much. And even with rank 2, I could make 10 or 12,000 profit per arm guard. It was crazy because they were selling for like 15,000 gold, maybe 20,000 gold by the time I got blacksmithing up, and they only cost about 8,000 to make, so I was making about 15,000 gold per arm guard. All I would do was spam in trade chat trying to buy cheap Demon Steel and Storm Scale. Well, I wouldn't buy Demon Steel, I'd buy the Fell Slate and Laystone and turn it at the forge into Demon Steel. I literally just spent hours and hours spamming in trade chat for Fell Slate and Laystone, looking on the auction house, trying to get really good deals, because the cheaper I got it, obviously the more profit I would make per arm guard. I would also sit at the auction house and keep relisting these, and in one of the days I sold 50 arm guards, so that was 600,000 profit just from the arm guards, and I think the other day I sold about 40s or something, so it was about 400,000. So I made about 1 million gold in 2 days just from selling these arm guards, because everyone needed them for the quest, and everyone probably thought this quest must be important, let's just get it done. Obviously Obliterum was selling really well, so it was kind of worth it to do the quest, and yeah, everyone was finishing leveling, everyone was buying them up. I was constantly relisting, and 1 million gold just from these arm guards. It was ridiculous. Next up, I got leatherworking. Again, I completely abandoned one of my professions and leveled up leatherworking instead. This was mostly because The gear was selling really well, and leatherworkers can make mail and leather. I also thought there'd be a lot of leather opportunities because of all the new demon hunters. So yeah, leveled up leatherworking and got to work. Now I did two things with leatherworking. The first was craft straight gear. I would again spam in trade chat and look on the auction house constantly, buying up any cheap leather I could and cheap storm scale, and craft any of the profitable pieces of gear. And well, they were all profitable then. Like I say, prices were crazy and I really took advantage. I'd make 6,000 or 7,000 gold profit per item. Some would require some blood of Sargeras, but this was my main character, so I had quite a few bloods on him, and it was really easy, really profitable. And yeah, that probably made me 200 or 300 more K. I didn't sell that many, but I sold quite a few of the chests, quite a few of the arms, hands, whatever they're called, a few of the helmets. And again, it was only rank 1 and rank 2. I didn't have any rank 3s, but the profits were still 4,000 or 5,000 gold per item. Lastly, and this is what took up most of my time, was using the Obliterum Forge and obliterating the braces, the leather braces. Selling the gear and the arm guards didn't really take up much time because it just had to be put on the auction house and then sold. So I did have a lot of time just sort of standing around waiting to relist my auctions, and in that time I made full use of the Obliterum Forge. So I would make the leather braces, not the ones that you needed for the quest, but the lower item level ones, and each one only gave a few Obliterum Ash, I think 2 or 3, maybe 5 to 10, I really can't remember, but I think I only got 3 or 4 Ash per bracer. They only cost a few leather to make, but I spent so long at that Obliterum Forge, and there wasn't the Easy Obliterate add-on back then either, hadn't been sort of made, so I literally had to do the entire process by hand, each step really dull, but Obliterum was so profitable. It sold almost instantly when you put it on the auction house, and it was selling for about 10,000 gold each, and I would make about 5,000 or 6,000 gold per Obliterum sale, and I must have sold hundreds. I must have sold at least 200, I reckon, at about 5,000 gold profit, so that was another million gold just from the Obliterum. Now, those 2 days were the Saturday and Sunday, the days I made all my gold. I think Legion came out on the Tuesday, so yeah, I leveled up on the Friday and started making the gold on the Saturday and Sunday. Obviously I continued to make the gold throughout the next week, but the profits dropped dramatically, especially because most people had the Bracer Obliterum quest, so weren't buying those, and Obliterum prices were tanking down, so those were not profitable at all really. So I continued to make a bit, but profits really fell off, but I didn't really care because I'd made so much the first 2 days. I could afford my spider mount right off the bat. The second the Mad Merchant popped up, I went and bought it. Felt really good, and yeah, it was a crazy time. I just kind of wish that I'd been there right from day one, because I could have been making even more. I reckon I could have made 10 million gold in the first 5 days of the expansion, because profits would have been double if I got to level 110 on the first day or the second day. So that's a bit annoying, but I can't complain, can I? Did really well. As I say, none of this will really help you guys now, just wanted to tell you my story and my experiences of the first few days of Legion. What I will say is that it kind of gives you an idea for when the next expansion comes out. I suggest you really get prepared, because it would now take me 3 weeks to make 2 million gold instead of 2 days. So you can save yourself a lot of time and effort if you just prepare in advance for the next expansion. What that involves is basically 3 things. Firstly, you want to be looking at the beta videos, looking at the WoW forums, looking at the gold making forums, and try and get an idea of what's going to be profitable and how people are going to be making gold at the very start of the expansion. That's going to help you be ready, so there's no wasting time. You can have the best professions sorted, so you're ready when you hit the next level cap, whatever it will be, and you can go from there. Secondly, you really want to hit level cap as soon as possible. As I already said, I wasted a load of gold because I just wasn't able to play the first 3 days of the expansion, and I kind of regret that now, because to make that extra sort of 5 million gold or whatever I would have made, it's now going to take me a lot longer than it would have done. I could have made 5 million in 3 days, I reckon. Like I said, 5 million now would take me weeks and months. Thirdly, you want to have some capital ready to invest. I had to spend so much gold buying out leathers, buying out ore, because ore was really expensive at the start of the expansion, and I had to buy so much of it to make my demon steel bars. But it's lucky I had that kind of gold, because otherwise I wouldn't have made the profits that I did. Whilst the new expansion is not going to be out for a long while, you can already start building up your capital, and these same sort of ideas can be applied to when a major patch launches. If you're online at the very early time of the day when patch day is, you can kind of get ahead of the game, you know, like when 7.1 launched and Nighthold launched even, and you got the blacksmithing mount that was selling for 200,000, maybe even 300,000 gold on some servers in the first few days. So the first people that got in straight away were able to make huge profits, whereas now you don't make that much profit from it because everyone has the recipe. So yeah, I'm keeping my eye on the 7.2 PTR in case there's any serious gold making potential, and I will let you guys know what I find. You should be doing the same, because that's really when all the potential is for gold profiting. But that's about it, guys. Let me know what you did at the start of the expansion. I'm sure there's some of you who made 10 million gold. I'm sure there's some of you who completely missed out and made no gold. Let me know if you had any interesting or similar experiences, and thanks very much for watching. Until next time, see ya!